Alex and Scott White.
Hey.
We are back for blood. Are back for left for dead because we're back for blood. You know what I mean?
Oh,
There you go. I see what you did there.
Yeah,
I get it.
Yeah, references to the video game we're about to look at. This is Back for Blood. The closed alpha happened the past weekend from when we were recording this. We're actually looking at a video here. I recorded some gameplay because we weren't ready to be able to record it live because we all had stuff going on. But I played a bunch this past weekend. Scott White, you also played a bunch of the closed alpha. And Alex, you're just excited to see this video game.
I just love Left 4 Dead.
Yeah, exactly.
You're going
I've
to
got
live
questions.
vicariously through us.
Yeah. So,
Yes.
So yeah, this is me playing. This was like I want to say my first go through. So you'll see me just kind of like being like and I'm also playing with like 3 because I just like jumped into like a random match. Like so I just got put with Warp 3 other folks. So we weren't really communicating, so you'll see some of that fun stuff in here too. Probably, I'm just gonna hit play while I'm still talking here and setting things up. But basically, yeah, like I would say, Back for Blood. Y'all like some Left 4 Dead? It sure is Left 4 Dead.
It is. Yes, it is.
Yep.
Yeah.
And
which is great. Honestly.
Yeah, I was gonna say and that's like saying that in like the best way possible. Up front here, well, you'll see like a quick. I think I skipped through this video here because like when a match starts they like here's like a pre-alpha gameplay of like welcome to Back for Blood. This lady kind of like gives you like a little breakdown
of like what you're supposed to do, I assume.
Yeah, and I kind of watch a little bit of it as you can see here, and then there's a big skip button. I was like, oh, okay, I can skip this. All right, see ya. Yeah. The base of the setup is like, yep, zombies are here. They're called the Ridden in this, and there's some bad zombies, you know, not just regular.
And an interesting cast of characters.
Yeah, a squad of 4 people, and they all have their own wacky lines. They talk about the director, which was a big thing in Left 4 Dead 2, of like it kind of like, you know,
kind of cycling through different difficulties.
Yeah, like kind of as you're going through a badge, it'll kind of dynamically change.
That's cool. I forgot about that. And I'm glad that
that's still totally a thing, and they kind of like go deeper on that with this new system, which this card system that it basically has. So as you can see, you can kind of see at this point I did not realize you can make custom decks, but you can make like a custom deck of cards, and as you are going from like safe room to safe room like you did in Left 4 Dead, when you hit those safe rooms you basically get to select from this deck of cards, and they all give you different attributes of like, hey, you can carry like an extra like health pack or thing of pills, or you can carry like an extra grenade or like a Molotov, or you can, you know, do all kinds of crazy stuff. Like, you know, if a squad member in your team gets downed, then you might get like a passive buff that everyone on your team gets, where they'll heal for like 30 seconds or whatever. There's like all kinds of combinations in between these cards, so it's actually like a really like interesting system. But like as you're getting cards each round, those kind of initial cards that showed like, hey, here's the zombies and like the special infected you're gonna face, they also get cards added in there. They're called the corruption cards. So like it's kind of like a always increasing, like you're getting more cards and more like perks and abilities, while the enemy is also increasing in things as you're going.
I don't think the corruption cards stack per round. I think each round they only have 4, it seemed. Whereas with the players, the pool of cards that everyone puts down at the beginning of each round, you're able to add to the stack in essence. With the player cards don't go away, but every new level or round, the corruption cards are fresh, because it kind of makes it so headshots do more damage, or you can only take things down via headshots.
Gotcha.
Or hitting weak points on the giant ridden, this game's version of like the bloaters and whatnot. Those do more damage if you hit it. But going off of what Mike was saying about the card system, it I was really impressed after diving into creating my own deck is how you can kind of flesh out and make custom classes for your characters. Like there were cards. One specific thing that I was using is each player has one card that they can set. It's the 15 card deck, and there's one card that you'll always start with. It's the loadout. And for mine, I gave myself the ability so my secondary weapon had unlimited ammo. And I had another card that if I killed a creature with my pistol, there was like a 20% chance I would spawn an ammo drop at like one of the various ammo types. There was shotgun, sniper, rifle, and then pistol, SMG.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So by kind of combining myself having unlimited secondary ammo, my pistol ammo, I could kind of run almost a support class by running ahead and trying just to take off the little guys
And spawn
with my
ammo for
pistol.
everyone.
Yeah, to try and spawn ammo for everyone.
That's cool. So
And
real
yeah.
quick,
Yeah.
just because it happened on screen, you look like you picked up some currency. Is that what you used to like pick up cards?
No, so the currency is used. The safe houses now have basically like these big orange boxes that act as kind of like a vendor, and you're basically that's how you're refilling ammo or getting health packs or getting like all kinds of stuff.
Tools.
Like there's like tool kits to like unlock certain doors. There's like scopes and extra magazines for your guns you can get. So like that's how you like get that stuff now instead of like there are weapons you can find like while you're going through, but if you want to upgrade them, like you're more than likely going to do it through that vendor that's now in like the safe houses.
That's cool.
Yeah.
So like what I'll say about that card system, it's almost like roguelike inspired. Like it reminds me.
Yeah,
I played a lot of a game
totally.
called Undermine this year, and there are like curses that will make you stronger in some aspect, but also like have a kind of with backtrack to them or like a withdrawal as well. So that's really cool. I that makes every run kind of way more different, even on top of everything else that's happening.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, it definitely adds like a lot more of an interesting dynamic. And like Scott was saying, like he can kind of make his custom build. So I could see like in once this game is fully out and like you have like a squad of buddies you're playing with, it'd be really cool to like each build their own. Like, hey, all right, I'm gonna play a support with this deck, and then I can play like in a more like offensive kind of type, like, and we can all kind of like build around each other, which I think is a really cool idea.
I just went from like a 6 excitement for this game to like a 10.
Yeah. There's a lot of it's really cool, and like we talked about it because me and Scott also did like a round with some of the Dual Shockers guys for their coverage, and it was like we talked about there of like for a closed alpha, it was just this like one kind of single like campaign, like it was four maps kind of stretched together like a Left 4 Dead map, and like for this one it seemed like super polished and like well done. There's like there was some framiness that I saw, but it was like nothing like crazy. Like I didn't really run into anything game breaking or I ran into like the typical like I jumped in with four random people, and I don't really want to interact with random people on the internet, so I turned off voice chat. So like there's definitely some times like in the footage where we kind of like end up getting spread apart or split apart because of that stuff, because we weren't really communicating. But like other than that, like it's still like really fun and really cool. Here I'll jump ahead a little bit.
One of the things
I got down
dealing
here
with the decks, they gave us like from the get-go, like you have a bunch of cards. So I'm imagining in the final game there'll be something where at the end perhaps you can buy booster packs or upgrade cards that you currently own. That wasn't really touched on or hinted at. It's
Right.
just kind of the vibe I got. So I'm hoping that there'll be tons of cards that you kind of constantly unlock or can upgrade as you go, because there are cards that that impact team wide, like give everyone on the team 10% health.
Right.
And if multiple people put those cards down, they'll stack. So you can really the group synergy helps with that as well.
Yeah.
But how you get the cards, if you can upgrade the cards, everything like that, none of that was present in this closed alpha.
Yeah, like like no real like full on unlocking systems. The only thing I've seen that they've talked more about is that there are like more like survivors you can just play as, Like there's going to be 8 total survivors. There's going to be like 4 more characters you can play as, and I think that's pretty cool. Just because like like in Left 4 Dead fashion, like all of these characters kind of have their own little dialogues and kind of interactions with each other. Where like there's the lady I'm playing as Holly is kind of like she was like the only one that I was kind of like iffy about because she felt like the very typical like tomboyish like let me shoot out this one liner hee like kind of character sometimes, and I was like Hoffman he's pretty good.
Voiced by Doc Ock from Spider-Man.
Yeah, it's that actor.
PS4.
Which I know is I just kept calling him Philip Seymour Hoffman because he looks like Philip Seymour Hoffman. But he's kind of like he's like the like sort of like Bill, not like full on Bill, but like he is like that like he's like the prepper guy who is like prepared for this, and he's like talking. He's like he'll take down a bunch of zombies and go like I hope you're proud of me, Dad. While he's like shooting zombies and stuff. He's kind of weird in that sense, but there's a lot of cool characters like I forget the one guy's name, but he's kind of like he kind of reminded me of like Lewis.
Jello?
Not that guy. It was the kind of the guy that
Is he like Ellis from Left 4 Dead 2?
no the one guy was a little bit like Ellis, but like the guy who Captain Cannibal's playing on the footage, I don't remember his name.
Got it.
But he kind of seemed like your like leader type, and sort of like sort of like Lewis. Reminded me of first Left 4 Dead.
Cool.
But yeah, here's like another talking point of like there are special infected like Left 4 Dead, but they are not just all like carbon copies of the zombies from the from Left 4 Dead. There is like a boomer equivalent. I'd say like that's the most like direct one I've seen, called the Wretch. And it is straight up like it'll vomit on you and leave. Yeah, there it is, actually right there. I'm shooting at it, and it's kind of
explode as well.
Yeah, like it'll explode and it leaves like kind of like the one difference I think is like now like if the vomit misses, you'll just get I died there, by the way. I think like the vomit it leaves around is just like a pool of acid, more like that. There's that one which I did not like because it was always hard to see that just like jumped around where that dude is. That's called. I think.
One that, like ensnared the guy that was trying to revive you earlier.
Yeah, that's the hawker. Yeah, that's the one leaping around. That one's like the only reason I don't like the one's because it's kind of hard to see. That's like the only like one of the complaints I have is like some of them are like don't stick out as well as some of the other ones.
I remember in Left 4 Dead 2, I think they had like a highlight over them. And once they've been like spotted, there was like a spotting mechanic to some extent in that game.
Yeah. And then there's like that big one that we've been seeing walk around. That's the Bruiser
monster.
Yeah, the big one on Monster. I like that one just because like it's like deceptive in like a smart way, kind of like how all those kind of classic Left 4 Dead zombies were. There's one trapped in a thing that they're all just gonna skip over. But I liked it because like it'll hide well like around a corner and then just drop a big slam on you as they come out of a doorway. Like that happened to me one of the times. That's cool. And then like it'll try and like conveniently like place itself in a way because you can see it has like a glowing red kind of thing on its shoulder, and that's like its weak point. And if you shoot that, you'll kind of do more damage and take it down faster. But you can see like animations that like it'll purposely kind of hide that kind of weak point, and you kind of have to let it attack in order to like get a good shot in on that thing. So I think it was just like an interesting like conceit of like kind of having to try and bait that thing to attack to like do the most damage you can out of it.
Did it say earlier when you kind of came into this section that like don't be careful not to aggravate the birds?
Yes, yeah. So there's like so there is like stuff in the game like in Left 4 Dead where like if you kind of trigger it or like a car alarm and stuff, like you will spawn a horde and a horde will just come after you. And like that's one of them is like those birds, like it's like they're like crows, and there's like a bunch of them around.
They still have cars can still put out sirens.
Yeah, and like just explode, and like that'll attract zombies and stuff. So we'll jump to this next part. This next part is kind of definitely like another one of the big. Here's us in the safe zone. There's just like a dude hanging out in the safe zone in the second one.
That's cool.
And they'll just be like, "Hey, get out of here, man! Leave me alone! Close the doors!" They'll like freak
That's
out.
what I always wanted to see from Left 4 Dead, but everyone is always already gone. You know.
Yeah.
But then like they did that DLC where they brought the first group of characters back from the first game. So
Yeah, and
you
it was
kinda
pretty
get that
cool.
payoff. Yeah, the weapon upgrade system, that's just so fascinating. That's cool that you can do that.
Yeah.
So because I remember it throughout like the 4 chapter campaign.
Yeah, let me jump back a little bit. Yeah, because I do it here where it's just like, once you get into the second, once you get into the second zone, you can kind of go through that menu.
I just think about like how you kind of start with like the regular auto rifle, and then you get like the better machine gun at like the halfway point in the last chapter or whatever. So this feels more like you're kind of committing to a weapon and making it better throughout the campaign.
Yeah, I was gonna say like there's definitely that. You definitely can do that, like because there are like different cards to like pick your starting weapon. At least in the alpha, it doesn't have every single weapon, but there is still like a Left 4 Dead. Like, hey, you're walking through an area and you can find like I found like a melee weapon, like a bat or like a SMG or like a shotgun and stuff. I think
you found
even
a Magnum for your secondary. There was like a little SMG.
Yeah.
Where you could do it for a secondary. There's melee weapons. Then a sniper rifle, couple shotguns, assault rifle.
Yeah.
Stuff
So
like that.
we'll jump ahead here because this is one of
different sites and stuff too.
Yeah, there's different sites and like some of those I know you have to like pick either or on if you like purchase them. Like you can't have like you can have like a faster reload or like a bigger extended mag kind of thing, or you can have like a laser sight or like a reflex sight kind of thing. So yeah, we're coming out of this area. I wanted to show off this big guy that's about to come. I think they showed a little bit of this. Yeah, the ogre in like some gameplay already at the Game Awards, I think. Luckily with this group, they had seen it because you learn pretty quickly that you just have to kind of run from this thing. You can do enough damage to it. Like I did see in one run, you can do enough damage to it where it'll like back off and like go back into like the little hole in the back. But if you try and like fight it like in that area where it literally cuts you off, like you're just screwed. I had that happen with the group where like everyone's first instinct was to just try and run back towards the safe house, and that thing just blocks you in and you can't like do anything about it.
Nice. We're killing it. When we play, we're doing it.
Yeah. So like this group,
just that shot when he like reaches in there and grabs somebody, that's just my nightmare.
Yep. Yeah, it's pretty terrifying for sure. Yeah, here's me getting freaking stuck again, and everyone just being like whatever. And this hurts you, as you can see if you look at my health. It
does damage over time.
Yeah, it does damage over time and while you're in that thing, so you can just kind of get screwed by that.
Now I just want to play Left 4 Dead.
Yeah, I know, right? I think here I picked up like a bigger assault rifle, and there's a Molotov there. There's that's the big boomer guy.
Were there different like difficulty options as well?
Yeah. There's 3 different difficulty options, and like it shows at least in this build they show that like different difficulty options actually add more like friendly fire damage and other stuff like that. So where I'll say like, hey, you do like 30% more friendly fire damage on this difficulty, or even more than that. So I thought that was an interesting conceit. Yeah,
I would say like even classic mode was hard. That's one thing I would say that very much feels. I think the thing that felt most closed alpha E of this game so far is the difficulty, because you can have times where it's a pretty cake in the walk, like it's a cakewalk, really easy, and then the final level it's just near impossibly difficult. Like you just
it's real hard.
Get swarmed with way too many enemies, and it's like you can't even progress. And it's like
it's pretty wild.
This feels rougher just in terms of balance.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah, and that's definitely like I feel like that was also true in Left 4 Dead. that could very much happen, because I played a lot of that game on hard by the time I was like in the latter times of me playing it, and that is like if you get to mission 4 and you do not have your team together, you are not going to win.
Yeah, you're gonna get boned. Yeah, so here's like another cool moment where we were fighting. This is like a second encounter with this big ogre in this area.
Is it the same one, or?
Yeah, it's the same one, because its damage will like continue over. But like it kind of just trapped those two in there, and so we were trying to like get its attention to like run away, so they could run out and come. See, after a while it'll go away if you do a certain amount of damage to it like that.
That was great.
So luckily it just kind of got distracted long enough, so no one got attacked. But otherwise, like normally, you can also just do what we did the first time and like kind of just try and go around it and just run out to here. And then it'll just kind of be stuck in there, and it'll also try and grab you here too. Like its arm will like come through that walkway we just came through, and try and grab you. So it's pretty crazy.
The level design overall.
From this first level, it sure felt Left 4 Dead-y, where it's just like you're kind of just going through these environments. The next zone has like a more like here. I'll just jump to that because basically we just kind of fought our way back to the safe zone, and this next zone here I'll like kind of just jump up to there because you go through the swamp here, which is pretty cool. But the end part of this, or actually oops, let me jump back. Sorry.
You're good. Getting the Back for Blood montage.
Yeah, I was gonna say just trying to find the. Yeah, so here's like I jumped to here just because like this was like a more like I would say typical Left 4 Dead moment of like, oh, you gotta activate this thing and hold out here while this thing happens, and so you can get to the next part. So this part you're basically like starting this broken like I guess it's like a feeder or something, and it's like making a pile of like seeds or whatever it is down there that I was just looking at. Gravel filler, that's what it is. It's gravel. And it's basically just like pouring gravel down to make like a bigger hill so you can like jump over and get across. But you basically just have to hold out here. Oh, there's a big vomit dude, by the way, just walking in. Yep.
Jesus.
So yeah, you basically just kind of hold out here until that fills up. And it's some Left 4 Dead right here.
Hell yeah. Was there anything like between both of you from what you played that like you as someone who likes Left 4 Dead were like happy to see and didn't necessarily know you wanted? Is it the cards, I guess?
Yeah, I would say it's like a little bit of that the card stuff, and I think just like kind of like there's also like just some nice like since it's now a modern game compared to Left 4 Dead, there's just like you can aim down sights, you can ping stuff like I've done a couple times. I do in this run, where you can like ping certain special infected or like weapons or ammo, and like your character will yell out like, "Hey, there's a thing over here," and like it's just there's definitely some of that in the original Left 4 Dead, but I think it's just like seeing it more in a modern game sense of just like, oh, okay, yeah, they took this to heart and like improved upon this greatly, and like maybe looked at what other modern FPS games do and kind of added that stuff in, which feels nice and feels right in a game like this.
For me, it's just it doesn't try to hide the fact that it's a modern Left 4 Dead.
Yeah,
it's made by a lot of the people that made the old Left 4 Dead, so it's not trying. It's updating where it can, but nothing they've added has taken away from that kind of mindless, brainless fun that has made Left 4 Dead so much fun and such a lasting multiplayer game, which is probably what I appreciate. They haven't tried to fix what isn't broken, as it were.
Yeah, definitely. I definitely agree with that. If like they did not like overextend and try and do, if even at least in the alpha, like it feels that they did not try and do too much, and they just said like, hey, let's just make that. And kind of just did it, and it's like, okay, yeah, great.
I am curious, and maybe this is a harder question, but like if this is, let's say, like Left 4 Dead or Left 4 Dead 2, this is this game and it's 4 campaigns. Let's say even it's 8 campaigns because there's 2 groups of characters, so 4 for each. Is that a $60 video game to both of you?
I would say that I would say as of right now, seeing it pre-ordered on Steam, it is definitely going to be a $60 game regardless of the current content they're going to put out. Because at least that's what I see. That's what I looked when I was looking to like pre-order it and stuff. Like they had like they had the base $60 version and some like special editions listed on Steam already. So it'll be a $60 game, but I definitely hope it does meet that. Like I'm hoping it at least meets like at least at the start, because I'm sure like it'll be a game that continues to update more so than what Left 4 Dead did in the time. I would definitely think
Yeah.
it'd be like more like a service, like ongoing multiplayer game. So I definitely hope it's at least that, like it's like eight survivors and maybe like
the survival, like the competitive multiplayer mode.
Yeah, and they did confirm, like when they kind of revealed some of this stuff, that they said there will be PvP, like zombie versus humans, like original Left 4 Dead in the final game as well. So yeah, I think I grabbed some more stuff here. Like so you can see we got a bunch of that currency, and like the pickups for the currency are like group wide. So like if somebody just picks up a group of like a thing of coins, like that just goes into the pool for everyone.
And like everyone has their own coins they get, so you're not having like a shared money
it's
pool,
not but it's not shared.
If someone picks up a copper, everyone gets 25 copper added to their own personal pool that they can spend on whatever.
Shared earnings, but individual spendings.
Yes, correct.
Cool.
Mm-hmm.
That's the best way to do that.
Yeah,
so that's good.
Yeah, it's real good. So yeah, this is the last part that Scott was talking about earlier. Yeah, this part is definitely it's definitely real tough, because it is like a you'll see when we get into it.
This reminds me of one of the Left 4 Dead 2 missions, the bridge.
Yeah, because it's not that different from that one really. There was definitely like a Left 4 Dead map that was very similar to this one, in that it's just like once you activate it, you just gotta fucking run. Yep. See, this person just like, I just did it. So we were just like wandering. He blew up the thing, and it's like, all right, you gotta run, and you have to.
You blow up a thing.
Yeah, and you just have to run across that bridge, and there's already stuff vomiting on us as we like cross the bridge.
Excellent.
And like this part so far isn't the nut difficult, like the crazy difficult part of this mission. You're all running to this ferry, but then you have to blow up the ferry and run to the bottom of the boat with these two explosives when you're swarmed by like hundreds upon hundreds of zombies, and that's when it gets ridiculous.
Yeah. See, this part isn't too bad unless you're me and playing solo and everyone leaves you behind, and then just you get mauled.
You get swarmed.
Yeah, and then it's just like, oh well, I'm by myself here, and everyone ran way ahead, and now I'm just kind of by myself.
One guy was trying to help,
which did help, which does help. Yeah, and there's an armed dude. I'm just trying to heal.
Looks like just seeing you can have more health and all that. That's cool. Does it feel like on the map, like there are little secret nooks and crannies that you might find, like an extra strong weapon?
Yeah, there's definitely, like, I have that on my tools right there, that left bumper, that's like a toolkit. So there's doors that you can only open with those toolkits, and that's like an item you have to purchase. And those doors will like randomly show up on runs, so like they won't always be in like guaranteed spots. But like we were, when me and Scott were playing together with the Dual Shocker guys, like on this run, that definitely helped us out, because there was a door that would spawn that you could use that toolkit on, and open it up, and it had like a big ass crate of ammo that you could refill at. It had like a health station that like had like particular charges on it, so you could heal there, but it had like you could get fully healed, but it only had like 3 charges of those heals for your team.
Man, that's so cool. It's like the Dead Space doors, the bolt doors.
Yeah, it was pretty cool.
And those doors appearing are random, because we would get to the same, like we would replay the same level after dying and stuff, and the door wouldn't be there.
Yeah.
Or the door wouldn't be accessible to use to get that group of weapons and stuff. So that's kind of the director aspect where.
There's us dying on that run. We do. I think in this run we actually do. The group I'm with completes it, but I'm dead when they complete it. I think is how this ultimately ends. But
yeah, I can see what you're talking about though on that boat where stuff gets wild.
Yeah, because you're kind of supposed to like. There's like a little like place you're supposed to kind of hold down, but then they give you like bombs. Here, I'll kind of jump ahead. Yeah, because they're that's what I was. Here's the part where I get left behind on the bridge. Yep, and they're all just like, "See ya," and then they just kind of keep going, and I'm just kind of stuck here.
If you die, do you like respawn in closets?
You that can happen if you're still going through a map. In this case, it was just the end, so I was just kind of they just kind of kept going. So this group is able to pull it off. I think where they like they kind of just sit here and kind of kill zombies for a while, and then these two dudes ran down and plant some explosives in the boat. I'm kind of just sitting here watching them. Yeah, there's that dude as well who was like bugging out. He's on the turret.
Excellent.
He's on the turret, but it just was animating like that for some reason, and I was like, okay, sure, closed alpha, But yeah, see, they armed it, so then that timer clicks down, and you just gotta run back to book it to where that ends, and then.
Yeah, I'm already seeing like the way zombies like slow you down if they're chasing you and stuff.
Yep.
Like it's so Left 4 Dead.
Totally.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just like I'm already like, okay,
yes,
we gotta run. Two people with assault rifles, 2 people with shotguns. The 2 people with shotguns crouch, stay in front.
Yep.
I already want to like just get back in the flow.
Yeah, totally. That's why I've, there, as much as I'm really excited for this game, but like there have been some like fun games we've been playing that are like at least are different, but like still
in that vein.
like Deep Rock Galactic's been a lot of fun, but like
Yeah.
like you said, like playing this again was just like, oh yeah, okay, yeah, like I remember. Yep, and there you go. There's the ending there. This is no longer a fight for survival.
Damn.
Yeah, it's a guilty pleasure. Like it doesn't try to be thought provoking or tag. Like,
yeah, it's not.
Just like you just want to shoot a bunch of zombies.
Yeah,
with friends,
it's not trying to
this is what you do.
change the genre. It is like, hey, we kind of made this genre, and we're going back to this, and they I think they even from this closed alpha, I think they know what they're doing. Like
Yes.
it's like, oh yeah, they're coming back, and this is a great game already.
Excellent. God, this looks great. I'm very like, and it is one of those things. Like, I'm very curious how people would respond to Left 4 Dead today versus however many years ago it was. Just because multiplayer games are so different now. I don't think it'll be any less of a like amazing and well received thing. I'm excited to see like. There was just streaming when Left 4 Dead 2 was.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Yeah, like I'm super curious to like what is how is this feels like a game that could potentially like explode in a way we don't even realize, because like Left 4 Dead was already huge, but like you said, Twitch was not a thing, and now this game will like probably has the potential to like take over Twitch like easily.
I mean, it's gonna be fantastic, but I mean, even looking at the current player base for Left 4 Dead 2, it currently, I'm on Steam charts right now, has about 20,000 current players.
Right.
With the 30-day average sitting at about just over 17,000 concurrent players.
Yeah.
So it's like these games are still very, very much played. So
for being like 12 years old is crazy.
Yeah. And I think like another aspect of that where I'm curious what they'll see about that like help. I think has also helped Left 4 Dead stay so long is like how much moddable it is, and like how many mods they've made, and like people have made so many custom maps. Yeah, there's me scaring birds accidentally. So that's made a horde.
Yeah, that was one thing we talked about when we were playing with the other DualShock guys, Mike, is we hope that this game will have as much modability, or that they support mods as much as Left 4 Dead has, because that is one of the probably biggest reasons Left 4 Dead has stuck around.
No, totally. Or even if like they aren't able to do like a mod system, a modding system, like making some kind of like map editor or like map creator or of some kind, I think would be really big in a game like this.
Mode where someone manually controls the what is it called, the AI thing?
Yeah, the director.
Like someone plays the director and like chooses when to send hordes, like a mode that could be added in later like that. Like there's so many ideas I had back when Left 4 Dead was a thing that I'm excited to see it come back into the like the narrative again in a big way. It's just like it's awesome.
Yeah.
And like that PvP mode, I talked to you guys about it. I played so much of it of like to fill the gas can PvP mode, and it was just so replayable for me. So the idea of adding even more aspects to the rounds of those is so exciting.
And those style of asymmetric multiplayer or that style of PvP is so much more prevalent nowadays with your Dead by Daylight or Friday the 13th and games like that, that I think it's very possible.
Yeah, and these guys made Evolve, and I know a lot of people don't necessarily love that game, but I do.
They're gonna make Evolve 2 inside this game.
That's what I'm saying. Just have a map where it's just a monster.
I mean that's kind of what this one is. Like, and I feel like there might be, they kind of show it in that one section of this map with the ogre, but I wouldn't be surprised if that thing shows up again in like another map where and maybe you have to actually like fight it.
Kill the ogre map where you hunt the ogre, and it's just Evolve backdoored into Left 4 Dead 3.
It's just Evolve backdoored into like, and they make that like a separate multiplayer mode or something where like somebody's
That could be
playing
cool though.
playing as the
people would be
ogre, and
into
you have the 4 people going around doing stuff. Yeah, that would be really cool. But yeah, I mean I think we had a good conversation here of Back for Blood, and I'm
so excited for
this
game.
It definitely playing this alpha was definitely like all right, this has jumped up in my 2021 video game anticipation list in a way I didn't think it would.
This game needs, one thing I will say, this game absolutely has to have from day one is cross-platform multiplayer.
Please, yes.
Yeah, or like crossplay or like cross progression for sure. Would be really nice.
I'm hoping that we are entering an era where that is a thing that's comfortable to
just
expect out the gate.
Yeah, it's just out the gate that has that. Yeah, because I want to say it's already slated for everything. Like it is.
Yeah.
PC, Steam,
PS4,
PS5, PS5, and Xbox. I would definitely.
Summer, right?
It's like early. It's like like the first week of June. I want to say.
Great.
So yeah, definitely.
We are going to be playing a shit ton of this come October next year, though.
Yes. Yeah.
Perfect spooky season game.
Yeah, totally. I'm super stoked. We're all super stoked. And I hope you are too. For Back for Blood, we said it'll be out later in 2021. Thanks Alex and Scott for chatting with me.
Thanks, Mike.
Yeah, totally. Yes, I know. I know. That's what I'm here for, to excite and get ready and get to some zombie killing. But yeah, that's gonna do it. Everyone stay safe out there and have a good one.
Bye.
Bye.
Happy New Year and happy holidays.